Halloween season is creeping up on us. We are just days away from October starting, and that means that very shortly, Halloween scare events will be taking place across UK theme parks. Up until these events begin, I thought I would share all the details about 4 of the best and my personal favourite events that the UK has to offer. Now I say biggest because this one takes place at the UK's biggest theme park, Alton Towers. So not only are you getting a bunch of scare mazes and scare experiences, you're also getting some of the country's best rides and attractions too. Today we're going to be going over all the details we know so far about Scarefest at Alton Towers. Scarefest takes place at the Alton Towers Resort in October from the 7th to the 9th, and then from the 14th to the 31st, meaning there's plenty of days to check this event out. What makes 2022 so special is that Scarefest celebrates its 15th anniversary, so expect big things, and as Alton Towers have put it themselves, spines to be tingled. As the nights get longer, get ready for all sorts of creepy scares, shocks and thrills as Alton Towers Resort celebrates 15 years of its award-winning Scarefest. On October's spookiest dates, prepare for spines to be tingled from the frantically funny and seriously spooky themed attractions for all ages, including a brand new scare attraction for the bravest of souls. We'll be going over all those scare mazes and that new scare attraction shortly, but first let's talk about what else you can find at Scarefest that's different from your regular day out at the Alton Towers Resort. So to start with, you of course have the rides. Alton Towers is home to a huge selection of rides and attractions, which of course can be experienced almost all year round, apart from those off-season dates. But during Scarefest, the park goes from the regular and very early closing time of 4 PM to the much better and much later time of 9 PM. That means by 9 PM you'll be able to ride all those coasters in the dark. If you are visiting Scarefest this year, then I would totally recommend checking out Wicker Man in the dark, because the coaster itself is my personal favourite in the park, but as you can imagine, seeing those flames light up the Wicker Man in the darkness is so much better than in the daytime. Having said that, all the coasters are awesome in the dark, so be sure to plan your day and your evening out so that you can get some nighttime rides in. There's also new food options at Scarefest. Throughout the year, Alton Towers have some great restaurants such as Roller Coaster Restaurant and the Pizza and Pasta Buffet, but during Scarefest you'll find different food options across the lawn area where the big stage is. I think pizza fries and those twisted potato sticks are a staple for Halloween events worldwide, so these should hopefully make a return this year too. Just next to these food stalls you will find the big stage, which will host some great shows for young and old. There's no update yet on what this show will be, but it's usually the Scarefest characters having a good old sing-song. Talking of those characters, they will be out on the front lawn doing meet and greets, taking photos, and you can even hear some spooky ghost stories from Skelvin. As well as this, over in CBeebies Land you can find the Monster Ball, which features the CBeebies characters. Here you can have a sing, have a dance, and learn about all things spooky. It's great to hear that the Alton Ancestors will also be returning this year too. This group of dancing street performers put on great shows throughout the day and evening, and of course, they'll want you to join in too. Now before we talk about the super spooky stuff, we also have the Whispering Souls Garden Lights walkthrough. A mysterious energy runs through the Alton Towers Resort Gardens water. Around here, people say it brings lost souls back from the dead for All Hallows Eve. Hear that whisper? Who knows, you might have fantastical company on the way. This Gardens walkthrough is a great free add-on to the already packed Scarefest events. There's no jump scares or anything too spooky, but I would highly recommend giving it a go. This year Trick or Treat Town will be returning to Scarefest, and this time it's sponsored by Haribo. This Scarefest, get ready to explore a special town where every day is Halloween. And do you know what the townsfolk's favourite pastime is? You got it, it's hosting trick-or-treating for the town's visitors. So muster up your courage and prepare to knock on doors from Spooky Avenue all the way up to Witchy Woods. But be careful. As well as Haribo treats, there are tricks aplenty. And this interactive walkthrough is suitable for everyone. Right then, so on to the scare mazes and that new scare attraction, but first let's quickly talk about the Alton Towers dungeon. Now, this is a year-round attraction, so you can visit the dungeons outside of Scarefest, but with the theme, Alton Towers promote this attraction more during this time of year. If you've never done the dungeons before, they are fantastic. You meet various different actors as they teach you about the darker side of history. In these dark chambers, try to survive a plague and endure humiliation, as well as pain at the hand of a torturer. If you escape, stop at the local tavern, known to be one of Dick Turpin's hideouts. He may even shoot by. Then visit the Witch of Burslum's cottage to come face to face with her ghost. Now, unfortunately, the Alton Towers dungeon is an additional add-on which you do have to pay a fee for, just like the scare mazes which I'm about to talk about. So for the Alton Towers dungeon, it is £8 if you want to book in advance online, but if you want to pay on the day, then it'll cost you £10 per person. If you have a million annual pass, you can get 50% off, however you have to book your ticket at the resort, which means it'll be a 50% off the on the day price, which, if my maths is correct, is £5. On to the scare attractions now, and this year Alton Towers will host 4 different scare experiences. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you, I was expecting Alton Towers to introduce some new for 2022 scare experiences this year, seeing as it's its 15th anniversary, but 3 out of 4 of these mazes are returning. We've only got that one new scare attraction. So yeah, it would have been nice to see some new additions to this year's Scarefest event. The main issue that I have with returning scare mazes is that if you've done it before, you kind of know what to expect. But having said that, the scare mazes that are returning this year, they are really good, they are really scary. But yeah, it would have been nice to see some more new additions, seeing as Scarefest is in its 15th anniversary. But anyway, let's talk about these scare mazes, and first up we have the Altonville Mine Tours. The Skin Snatchers, we call them, outcasts, their whole family. Rumours are that they lived in that old mine. It's deep and dark, and the damp inside gives you the proper shivers. Just recently, some fool reopened it for tours. Be careful, they say those skin snatchers have a secret too horrifying for words. Beauty is only skin deep. Remember that. Now, I would say that the Altonville Mine Tours is my personal favourite returning maze this year. It's all super enclosed, super tight spaces, which makes the whole experience extra scary. All the scare actors are fantastic in this one, and the overall backstory is great too. So overall, going off previous years, I'd give the Altonville Mine Tours a 4 out of 5 in the scare rating. Next up we have the Attic Terror of the Towers. This is a ghosty maze and another one with a great backstory and fantastic actors. Around here, people talk of the governess, how she's haunted by the death of her young charges, how she wants revenge, and how she'll take it by seizing the spirits of the living in retribution. They say her ghost haunts the attic, and that's where you're headed. Dare you risk your immortal soul? Now, there is some great theming in this one, and just like with the Altonville Mine Tours, it's all super enclosed, so you're more than likely going to be walking around this maze with your eyes closed for the most part of it. Again, I'd probably give this maze a scare rating of 4 out of 5. On to the final returning maze this year, the Darkest Depths. Now, this one's a little bit more tamer than the other 2 mazes that I've spoken about, as this one's for ages 12+, whereas the other 2 were 15+. But having said that, it is still really scary. Get ready for a terrifying new adventure aboard the Mutiny, a notoriously spine-chilling ghost ship. You'll truly earn your golden piece of 8 by venturing into the darkest depths, avoiding the hazardous calls of the treacherous sirens, dodging the swords of terrifyingly ghoulish pirate mutineers, and coming face to face with the Kraken, the legendary monster of the seas. This maze definitely has the best theming in my opinion. Not only does it have fantastic scenery, it also has smell pods too, which really immerse you in the experience and makes you feel like you're really on a ghost ship. It's a great maze, but I would say this one is a little less scary, so I'd give this one a 3 out of 5 in terms of scares. But who knows, with all the returning mazes there could be some changes, so it's possible that my scare rating could increase. I'll be visiting Scarefest on opening day this year, so stay tuned for the vlog to hear my thoughts on each of these mazes. So now let's talk about something new, and at this year's Scarefest there will be a brand new scare attraction called the Invitation. Honestly, I am really intrigued about this one, and I really don't know what to expect, because Alton Towers have called this a scare experience, rather than a scare maze. The Lakeside Cemetery invites you to join them for a grave experience that will live with you for eternity. Their friendly funeral director is dying to assist you as you descend into the burial chamber, where you can choose your final resting place. Some caskets have already been filled, but there are others still empty, waiting for you. As I said, I'm not too sure what or where this attraction will be. I mean, the Nemesis Subterra building has been used before for scare mazes, and it does have an attraction inside there. Could this be the home to the invitation? There's also Jewel, which has recently closed. Could it be inside there? At the time of recording this video, there's been no announcements on any of this. However, stay tuned for the vlog, because I'll be sharing all the details as well as my thoughts on this brand new experience. So there we have it, all we know so far about Alton Towers Scarefest in 2022. Now this event is shaping up to be one of the best, and I cannot wait to check it out. It would be nice to see some more new scare attractions, however we are getting that new scare experience, the invitation, so I am super excited to see what that's all about. Are you visiting Alton Towers Scarefest this year? If so, what are you most excited for? Let me know down in the comments below. But that is it for this video. If you did enjoy watching, then please consider hitting that like button to let me know. And if you are new around here and you're feeling extra cheeky, then be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single thing, because we make plenty of theme park and adventure videos here at Decady Adventures which you don't want to miss. Want to check out our Scarefest vlog from last year? Then click this video right here. Or do you want to learn about another great Halloween event here in the UK? Then maybe consider checking this one out too. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.